the here and now. Roshan, what do you make of the two lineups tonight?
I think for Indonesia, it's one we pretty much expected. You know, they've done well. They found pretty much a system that they're going with that has suited them. And again, when you look at the lineups that they've got, there's an opportunity for, as we said, the flexibility that they have with Alfiandra, for example, can slot into a back three. They can also go with a back four and push Alfiandra forward into that midfield to play alongside Rahmadi Rianto and Ricky Kambuaya. So there's flexibility in that lineup, and it's the same with Singapore as well. A bit more surprised with the changes that they've made, but I think they've perhaps had a few fitness issues. The game's, you know, coming thick and fast in the knockout stages.
Well, almost immediately, Hafiz Noor searing down that left-hand side. He's got the pace, hasn't he, Hafiz Noor?
He's been looking confident, hasn't he? And not Hafiz Noor, I'm referring to the man on the bench just now. Tatsuma Yoshida is smiling all the way through.
It's a different kind of outlook because he's had a tough time, hasn't he, in this tournament?
Yeah, and he's got a big smile on his face. You know, we saw him as the teams were coming out for their warm-up. He was looking nice and relaxed, nice and confident. And you know, we talk about the changes that are being made. You see that the goals that have been conceded in this competition, the passing accuracy so far, things like the crossing accuracy, not too much of a difference between these two sides.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, every stat there, and there's Shin Tae-yong, the opposite number, who's also quite the character himself. Everything was close except for goals scored. 14 for Indonesia, 8 for Singapore, but they've had almost exactly the same number of shots, which means that Singapore have been pretty good at the conversion rate. If you want to look at that, Amy Reka, the man who's leading the line for Singapore, had one really great effort, didn't he, against Nadio in that first leg. And talking of forwards, Indonesia had 3 different forwards. They tried 3 different combinations, didn't they? Ezra Walian was yanked off after 34 minutes, having been brought on.
Yeah, at half-time, I guess it just wasn't quite working out for him. But good to see he still retained the faith of his coach.
Here's Shadan Sulaiman for Singapore. That's a delightful ball up to his club teammate Hafiz Noor, who doesn't get the better of the Indonesian skipper Asnawi. We know about the pace of this Indonesian side that has caused so many problems, and now, Roshan, they've enhanced it. Ramai Rumakek.
Yep.
What a paceman he is.
A very direct player, number 20, on the left-hand side of this Indonesian attack.
Poor old Irfan, huh? Getting dropped like that. I mean, that is the kind of depth. They'll force that. There's Nur Adam Abdullah, preferred in that left wing-back position. His first international start in that last game, and has retained his place. They have rotated the wing-backs a little bit in this tournament, Singapore. Now Shadan Sulaiman. Trying to slide that into Amy Reka. He featured for Singapore, and now he's got to start here in the semi-final. Big moment for him. Here's Pratama Arhan.
There's fresh legs for Singapore, especially in those forward positions with Amy and Hafiz Noor coming in. Interesting to see how they get on, and I know there's a lot of talk on social media about Singapore's lineup and how people weren't sure with the changes that were made. I mean, he's got a squad, Tatsuma, and he's been very consistent with his messaging around it, in that he said, I trust every member of the squad.
It's a delightful ball from Hami Shahin. Reka, by the way, he's got plenty of pace about him as well. Had a standout season last campaign for Geylang International. 10 goals for him. His best return.
Yeah, I mean, if we see Amy Reka initially making that run in behind, got cut out, and then Hami Shahin. It's a really good shielding of the ball by Alfiandra, who looks to just be occupying a central midfield position alongside Rahmadi Rianto. And what that means is it's given Ricky Kambuaya a bit more freedom to drift across those midfield areas. Here he is on the right-hand side.
Irianto, distinct with that tucked-in shirt. Nice touch on to Song Wei-yong. Everything seems to pass through Shannon Sulaiman. He's got a quarterback type of role. Pratama, quick pass on from him. Here's Ramai Rumakek. Now Witan Sulaiman. Still Witan, who was brilliant in that last game. Witan. Bit of a plea in vain there to the referee.
Yeah, another player who's very difficult to pin down. Witan Sulaiman talked about his intelligence and you know, his awareness of the game. Just wonderful, you know, he gets himself into areas where he knows that, you know, he can pick the ball up here, cause lots of issues in behind the Singapore midfield. And again there, he picked it up behind that midfield and looked to try and run at the defense.
Showed a little bit too much of the ball there. Irfan, here come Indonesia. Witan Sulaiman slips the ball through. And that was a poor miss right in front of goal by Kambuaya.
I think he might have taken a deflection off Haris. It was so important for the Singapore captain to come across. Irfan just getting caught out by Ramai Rumakek there. I love this. This is intelligence from Witan Sulaiman. Understanding of, you know, he could have perhaps taken a shot on himself, but he thinks, you know, Ricky Kambuaya has made a good run. Use him. Nice little reverse ball into the number 15, and it was so important for Haris to come across. That's one of the benefits of having that back three, an additional man in the center of defense.
Corner for Indonesia, first one of the game. Important intervention there by Haris Harun, who they've preferred in that back three now. Here is Witan then with the corner. Doesn't get past the first man. Witan Sulaiman again. Alfreander Dewanga. Pratama Arhan. We know we can hit them. Scored a great goal against Malaysia. Slip through. There is Ruma Ramakek. Good early pressure here from Indonesia.
A good start to this game. I think from both these sides, but especially from Indonesia here, looking more comfortable on the ball. Get things going at a good tempo. And Singapore looking to still try and play out from these pressure situations. Lovely dummy there from Hami Shaheen.
And all that pressure started from Irfan trying to bring the ball out. The sequence of events has led to this. A lot of time on the ball. He loves to try and bring the ball out of play. Here's Hafiz Noor.
Very good work from Hafiz Noor, quick feet. And he's one of those players, Hafiz Noor, who, a little bit like Haris Harun, was unfortunate to pick up COVID. Which meant, of course, going to be involved in quite a bit of the build-up.
Fantastic run for Zulkarnain Suleiman, and that was a ballooned shot, wasn't it, from Song Wei-yong?
Tatsuma Yoshida is a big fan of Hafiz Noor. And I think every time he's been in the squad, he's contributed.
There's Rawalian running in that channel, and it's good work there from Irfan Fandi. He's not the most mobile of strikers, isn't he? But he's big and he's got that physical presence.
Ezra Walian, yeah, and you know, lots of Indonesian fans out there are calling him Giroud, the Indonesian Olivier Giroud, because of his physicality, his role in the team as well. As I said, you know, he perhaps is not going to get too many goals, but you can play off him, and they've got good mobility around him as well. So that type of style.
The issue I've certainly been seeing online as we see that ball in from Pratama Arhan. That's another corner for Indonesia. He's the only striker that scored in the goals, and that's one goal from the 4 that they've brought in. Shin Tae-yong's team have been scoring plenty. It's not come from their forwards.
Yeah, I think very early on here, Haris has just had to have a word with Irfan, who defended that situation really well. But there's a couple of occasions now in possession where Irfan's saying, I don't have options to pass to. And they've turned it over to the Indonesians.
That was solid from Safwan. Pratama Arhan. Couple of nervy moments there. Noradam does well. Another corner.
Good covering by Noradam. Some wonderful work from Pratama Arhan. And the one who loves getting into these advanced positions. Very modern day left back.
Well, that looked like something off the training ground. The shot is blocked from Fakhruddin Arianto. Into the mix by Alfayandra, straight forward for Hassan Sani. He looks up. Inside not to release quickly. Has done that in the past, hasn't he, with Faris Rumley in particular. That was perhaps telegraphed. It's come straight back at Singapore here. A real problem. It's a straightforward goal. And it's Azra Walian. Indonesia take advantage there.
They deserve this, Indonesia, for the start that they've had in this game. They've been aggressive with the press, with the starting position. They've not given